care to pay attention to that because they felt that the future is all certain and we are now on an autopilot and we'll carry on like that. We all know what happened to that dispensation. The key, in my view, to unlocking that potential that we are talking about is to generate the required volumes of jobs. 12 million jobs a year for the next 2 decades. 1 million each month, and the backlog keeps increasing on a daily basis. I hope the enormity of the challenge keeps everyone in Lutyens Delhi awake at night. Employment alone can create the real inclusion and not entitlements. And please note that if we don't generate enough jobs, we will have more than the whole of Australia to employ in less than 2 years. That is the enormity of the challenge that we face, and that is the enormity of the challenge that I try and capture in these essays that are there now. It is important to highlight that the required number of jobs will be created by achieving a minimum of 9 to 10% rate of growth of GDP in this year and the next two decades. Like China, we will have to sustain it for 3 decades. A measly 5 to 6% will certainly not suffice. The difference between the two, a 10% and a 5 or 6%, will be in India, which could be near the top of the country ranking after 3 decades of that sustained growth, or major social and political strife, and I dare say, God forbid, fragmentation. I shudder with the thought that the China newspaper Global Times had mentioned the word Balkans and Yugoslavia in the context of India not so many years ago. And therefore, sir, these are very critical times. In the introduction that I have written in this book, I suggest 5 very broad measures that do not require legislative action to ensure that the necessary condition for double-digit growth is achieved and sustained.